Hello everyone, back again for another pretty quick video. This one is about a simple ranking system for scores. As you can see over here on the right, I have Bill in first place, Susan in second place, and in third place is Mr. Nippers. I'm going to show you how to order these as the scores change dynamically during gameplay. So to start with that, let's take a look at what scores we currently have. So Bill currently has a value of 100 for his score. Susan has a score of 50. And Mr. Nippers has a score of 5 because he's terrible and he sucks. So what we need to do with those numbers is we have to take them and bring them into our first flow here. And we're going to do a for each on that player list, which is here. So this is the list of all players, and we're just going to grab that player list game object, get all of its children, and then for each of those children, we're going to get that score variable. Now that score variable is then going to be added to the list, which is here, and then we're going to sort that list, and then from there we're going to send it on to the ordered variable. And this whole process just repeats non-stop. We clear the list continuously as we add the values, so this is always an updated list. So if I come in here and I change Bill's score to 99, you see that it's constantly changing here inside the table right here. Now using that information, what we can do is we say Bill is now in first place and he's got a score of 99. So let's take Mr. Nippers. Let's say he finally caught up because he actually learned how to play. And let's go say he got 200 points. Okay. Now Mr. Nippers is at 200 points and he's the last item in the list, which makes him in first place. So here we have over here on our right, Mr. Nippers is now in first place, but we don't want him to be in first place because he needs to be in last place. So we're going to put him there. Now let's take a look at this part down here. This part here, all the way through this is where we actually set the scores as their text component over here. So what we do is we come in, we have an update. We're going to wait just a little bit of a second to make sure that this runs first. We want to make sure that this is always updated at the very start of the game. And then once we do that, we're going to come up here and we're going to do a for each of the players. So we're going to grab the entire player list for each of those, and then we're going to get the scores for those players. Now with that score, what we have to do is we're coming in and we're going to find out, does that score equal the value coming out of that list? And where does it come out of that list? So the first one we have here is the value 2, which is the index of 2, does it equal that, yes or no? Now if that's true, that it does equal the index of 2, that's going to put you in first place. Because so it's going to come through and it's going to set this text to say, okay, you are in first place. We're going to add your first place designation to the name of your game object. So in this case, Bill is in first place, so it comes up and sets a text. Now each one of these are the exact same thing, just processed over, and I've kept them split out intentionally. You could use an index and create a simple one setup flow for this, but it's easier to show everybody exactly how all this works. So over here we have 1, it does the exact same thing, that's going to be second place. Index 0 is going to be the exact same thing, and that's third place, because 0 over here in our list, index 0 is 20, is always the lowest value. And then in first place is always going to be the highest value. Now it's pretty straightforward in how to do this. You're just creating a list of all the values possible, sorting them, bringing them in, and then we are matching what order they came into the process and then assigning their value to their name. It's very straightforward and very simple. Now the only caveat with this is, and you'll have to build the logic around this for yourself, if they're the exact same value, let's say if we had Bill with 1 and Susan with 1, and then Mr. Nippers with 1, these are not actually updating anymore. They are not correct. Because if I come in here and I set 2, the high score, you see Mr. Nippers is still going to be number 1, no matter what, even if they're all the same. It's one of those things you have to work around. To add additional players to this process, all you're going to do is you're just going to mirror the same thing over and over and over. And up here, you'll just make a copy of each one of the players to create the extra indexes that you need. And like I said, if you use the index up here, you can set all this dynamically. And I won't actually build it because it's real straightforward. You're just taking these indexes. This would become 3, 2, 1, 0, and then you would end up with a 4th place. So it's very straightforward, very simple. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Thanks.